So today we're going to be talking about the angel hierarchy. This is a two-part session because I don't think we'll be able to cover everything in one session. So we'll just get into it. So let's close our eyes, connect the tongue to the palate. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Let us pray to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother. We thank you for your priceless blessings, for divine light, divine love, divine guidance, divine love, mercy, inner healing, physical healing. Thank you for the inner strength to practice regularly. Thank you for your divine help and protection, for illumination, for abundance and prosperity. Let's also invoke to the angel hierarchy to be with us today, to help us understand how they work, how they help us, and to ask us to be with us, and to ask them to be with us now and forevermore. Now, and when we leave the physical body and travel in the astral world, now, and when we traveled now, and all the 9 realms. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about the angel hierarchy. So there are 3 spheres of angels as described on Wikipedia. So a lot of this information is from Wikipedia, it's not new, but obviously the spiritual angle of it is what we're here to talk about. So the first sphere serves as the heavenly servants of God, and it is called the Sun incarnated. So this is obviously coming from a Christian background. So what do we know the Sun incarnated as? In the Pranic Healing system, we know the Sun incarnated as the God of love. Who is the God of love? Vishnu. Okay, so in the Indian system, for example, it would be Vishnu. Now, also in the angelic kingdom, like there are 9 levels. I don't know how many of us here are Arhatic yogis, but you may have done the program with Sri Ram where he talks about the levels of discipleship. And if you have noticed, there are also 9 levels in that are discussed. Okay, so the reason I'm drawing a parallel here is that as we evolve, as human beings evolve, we go through 9 levels. Similarly, the angelic kingdom also has 9 levels that it has to evolve in. So these 2 kingdoms actually grow together, the human kingdom and the angelic kingdom. We work together, we grow together, and we also have to cross a lot of levels together. Okay, so just because someone is an angel does not mean that they are a perfected being. It just means that they are an angel. What does that mean? That basically means that they don't have a physical body. Okay, they may have other kinds of bodies, but they don't have a physical gross body like the way we have. Okay, so this is the first sphere, which is the highest order of angels. So the highest order of angels is called the heavenly servants, and they are incarnated from God the love. Okay, so there are 3 types of angels in this order. So if you look at the picture, it shows you many levels of angels. So in the highest order come the seraphims, the cherubims, and the thrones. We will talk about this in the second session next Saturday. In the middle level, we have the dominions, the virtues, and the powers. So these are basically heavenly governors, and they are kind of like guiding spirituality, and they are ruling all the spirits like the nature spirits, etc., etc. Again, we'll talk more about this next Saturday. Today, we are going to talk about what is called the lowest order of angels. So if you look carefully at the lowest order of angels that is provided here, you have the principalities, you have the archangels, and you have the angels. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so this is called the third order of angels. So there are 3 categories: first, second, and third. We are going to talk about the third category. It is also called the highest, middle, and the lowest order of angels. Now, these are angels that function as guides, protectors, and messengers to the human kingdom. Okay. Now, the principality is the first kind of angel that we are going to talk about. Now, the principality is a type of angel, a very evolved type of angel that is responsible for the handling of an entire country. So an entire country, for example, or let's say if there is, groups of people. So for example, the entire doctor community, or let's say, for example, people like us, we are healers. So for us, it's the entire healer community, the teacher community, the businessman community. People like that are taken care of by a principality. So a principality is responsible for a nation or a group of people that are doing the same kind of work. So what happens is that, let's say, for example, those of us who've done some previous sessions with me, you may have noticed we invoke to, the angels of pranic healing and arhatic yoga, right? So there is probably a principality that is in charge of helping pranic healers, arhatic yogis, and these particular angels or principalities are in charge of taking care of this category of people. Okay, so the principalities are basically angels who assist and angels who administer the other angels that are below them. The angels that are below them are the archangels and the other angels. So we'll talk about that. Principalities are normally shown as wearing a crown and carrying a scepter. A scepter is something that a principality carries. A scepter is also something that you may have seen in photographs. You may have seen, kings carrying scepters. So the idea basically is that because they are in charge of administration, because they are in charge of a nation, because they are in charge of a certain community, that carry a scepter and they wear a crown on their head. Okay. Okay. So their duty is also set to carry out the orders of the upper sphere of angels. Now, who are the upper sphere of angels? There are dominions, there are virtues, there is the Seraphim, the Cherubim, and I forgot the third one, but anyway. So, and they bring in material blessings to the world. So when we want to pray for, let's say, abundance or prosperity, or sometimes, we've been doing sessions where we have basically been invoking the angels of advertising, right? So it's like, angels of advertising, please, connect yourself to us, please connect yourself to our phones, so that when we call people to join pranic healing or to join for meditation or to take a healing, then people are more receptive. Why? Because we are invoking to the angels of advertising and marketing. So again, for those of us who are doing so we also have a program going, which is called financial healing. So those of us who are doing that, we will be assigning angels in the subsequent program. Okay, so there are angels of prosperity, there is angels of abundance, angels of marketing, advertising, etc., etc., etc. Okay, and as we discussed, I think last time, it was also that we discussed a prayer, which was, how you can invoke the angels. So the technique that we used last time was basically, we will say, angels of the Lord, bless, let's say, my business, and angels of my business, bless the Lord. Okay, now there are some people who ask questions like, how come that we can bless the Lord, or how can a lower angel bless the higher angel? So I think it's the same way like a devotee presents flowers to God. Some of us do the Hindu system of puja, right? So if you are giving flowers to God, what are you doing? God has produced those flowers. God is way bigger than those flowers, but we still give, right? So similarly, when we say angels of my life, bless the Lord, you are basically offering your life to God, and then you're saying, angels of the Lord, bless my life. Okay, so it's hierarchical in terms of structure, but that doesn't mean that a lower person or a lower entity cannot help or cannot bless or cannot wish well for a higher entity. For example, if someone's living in a kingdom, would you or would you not bless your king? So let's say if I'm the subject of a country, and I live in a kingdom, will I or will I not bless my king? I can bless my king, right? So similarly, if you work in an institution, can you or can you not bless your supervisor? If you live in a country, can you or can you not bless the prime minister, for example, to take good decisions, or the chief minister? You can, right? So that is specifically to answer that question. Okay, they're also said to inspire living things they're also said to inspire things like art and science. So again, when we are practicing art or we are practicing science, we can again invoke for specific angels. So what happens is that on certain levels, there's the angels of science, there's the angels of art. So they are again responsible for that group of people. So for example, if they are scientists, then there is an angel in charge of scientists. And it's not just one angel in charge of one type of science, right? Because there are many types of science. There's physics, there's chemistry, there's biology. So as many things exist on the planet, that many type of angels are there. So if you want to be really specific, you can think of a particular angel. Okay, moving on. So the angels are the third order. So we are talking about the angels of the third order. Now, there are many different kinds and different functions, like I just explained. These angels are messengers to humanity. So it's like, if God wants to communicate with us, humans, then God kind of does that through the angel hierarchy. There are 9 levels to the angel hierarchy. The angels, the lowest order is the one we call angel. So when let's say I invoke the angels of my business, or if I invoke the angels of advertising, those are actually the smallest or the lowest level of angels. One more thing is that the personal guardian angel. So if you've heard me say before, everybody has a personal guardian angel. So everyone's personal guardian angel is also at the lowest category, which is the 9th, or if you want to call it the first, depending on how you're looking at it. So let's go from bottom up. So the first lowest class of angel is this kind of angel, our guardian angels, angels of books and things and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, angels are also called devas. So when we talk about, again, in Hindu mythology, we have a lot of devas, right? So these devas are basically angels. Why are they angels? Because they are entities that can take a human body if they want. They can take a body if they want. Usually they will not. They will just appear and they will disappear. Okay, so that means they will only appear to the extent where they need to show you that they are there. That's it. And then they'll just go away, right? And these angels are also called gods with a small g. So that's not a typo. It's actually God with a small g. So this brings me to a very interesting point, which basically is that, the Deva kingdom is there, and the Deva kingdom is going to help us when we ask them to help us. If you don't ask for help, the Deva kingdom will not help you. Why? Because they are also evolving. We are also evolving. We have free will. They also have free will. So let's say, for example, if I want help from a friend, let's say if I want help from Kunal, then I have to call Kunal and be like, Kunal, can you help me? Right? So I have to ask for help. He may offer help also, but I have to also ask for help, right? So similarly, the devas, the gods, and the angels are the sort of the lowest category. Of course, there are higher levels of devas, but we're equating the word angels to gods with a small g equal to angels with a capital A. Okay, so now we'll talk about the archangels, which is what the meditation also talks about. So the Archangel Uriel is called the light of God. Now, there is a lot of, in the Christian system, there are many, many books of God, and some angels are mentioned in some angels are not mentioned in the others. The reason I'm talking about this particular set of angels is simply because we, in the Archangel meditation, Acharya Nona talks about these angels. So I've just picked these 4 angels. Archangel Uriel. Now, if you also notice the way I've spelled Uriel, it's with a small, I've added a small E in, and then there's an L. So the reason I've done this is because this is something that, Sri Ram Raja Gopal, who heads up World Pranic Healing along with Sumi Lazar, he mentioned that the word L, basically, from the spiritual essence of man, it adds power when you add it to the name of an angel. So if you say Uriel, Michael, Raphael, or what's the other one, Gabriel, then you are basically changing the nature and you're making the energy much more powerful. So that is why I have spelled it like this. It is to grab your attention and to let you know that when you invoke, it's a good idea to say Archangel Uriel. Okay. Now, it says here that the Catholic Church generally does not regard Uriel as an angel, but that's okay. Next is Archangel Raphael. The Archangel Raphael is responsible for healing. So often when we invoke for healing and he is the angel of healers, then we invoke for the Archangel Raphael. Okay. Again, over here, it says that Raphael in the last paragraph, that he is one of the 7 angels that stand before the Lord. So we'll be mentioning the 7 archangels, but the 4 that we're going to talk about mainly are Uriel, Raphael, Michael, and Archangel Gabriel. Okay. Archangel Michael is the one that we call upon for protection. So when we invoke, for example, that we want to cut a cord, or sometimes Archangel Michael is also equated to the energy of Shiva. of Lord Shiva. But I would think that Lord Shiva is at a much higher level of the angelic kingdom than Archangel Michael would be. But again, I don't know enough about this. This is just my what should I say? This is my understanding. Okay. Now, the Archangel Michael is the one we call upon when we need help, when we need protection. And again, in the meditation, Acharya Nona will talk about that. Next is the Archangel Gabriel. The Archangel Gabriel is considered to be the messenger of good news. So if there's good news coming, then the Archangel Gabriel is responsible for bringing it. There is also something in the Islamic tradition about the Archangel Gabriel, but we will talk about that a few Saturdays later when we talk about the Islamic angels and the Christian angels together. Okay. Okay, so there are 7 archangels who are said to be the guardian angels of nations, countries, and concerned with events. The distinction between a lowercase archangel and uppercase archangel is there, but it becomes very technical, so I'm not going to get into that over here. The 7 highest, the 4 highest angels that we're going to talk about, the 4 archangels are the ones that we're going to talk about here. So the Archangel Gabriel, like we said, is the one that brings us good news. Okay, so the last one we're going to talk about here is going to be the personal guardian angel. So this is not of a separate order. They again come from the order of angels, and they're assigned to every human being, whether they are of the Christian religion or they are not. Now that makes sense because, like I said, every person has a guardian angel. An angel is a deva. So regardless of which religion you are, if you're a Hindu, you may call that person a deva. If you're from some other religion, you may call that person, not that person, but that entity, you can call that entity a god with a small g. That's because God with a big G is the super God. Okay. Okay, so that brings me to the end of this particular session on the archangels. We'll be talking about the others next Saturday. So so that's it for this particular presentation. And now what I would like us to do is move on.